Hey guys, this is the pollination video of Trichocereus validus. These are the two last flowers for this year. So we really hope that it succeeds. This is a very important cross for me personally, and I just hope it'll succeed, you know. Unfortunately, we just got another heat wave that just started, and the last heat wave killed lots of flowers. I don't want to say most of them, but lots of flowers were killed during that heat wave, so it doesn't look good. All right, guys. So I will collect pollen first, and then we'll pollinate them. I'm sorry because I might be blocking the view, but things are very tight here in the greenhouse, and I can't move this plant outside. Last time I moved it, it got damaged pretty badly, and I don't want that to happen again. This looks great. It does have some pollen, you know. I tried collecting pollen yesterday, and I could barely get some from it, so I assume the pollen must not have been ripe yet, you know. So it's great to have actual pollen from this, you know. And I will collect as much as possible because it needs to be enough for the whole year. I will freeze the pollen, and yeah, oh god, I lost some pollen, and I'm mad because of it. Yeah, but I will freeze it and reuse it later on. Frozen pollen is always great. I wish I could give you a better angle. Let me just move the camera apart back, you know, so you can maybe see a little bit more. Alright. It's not much, but it's honest work. It's crazy. Yesterday there was barely any pollen that I could get, and now there's lots of it. That's crazy. I don't get it sometimes, you know. I already tried collecting some pollen in the evening, you know, because I felt like maybe it's better to collect it right away when the flower opens, but that was not the case. So I can't recommend collecting pollen right away. Wait until the sun is out, until the flower is fully open. It seems to make a big difference. And you know, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Nature wants these flowers to open when the pollinators are out, you know, like it all depends on the pollinators that pollinate them. You want the pollen to be available to the pollinators when they are active, you know, like if these plants would produce lots of pollen at night, then and you know, with pollinators not being active at that time, there would be risk that the pollen is in vain, you know, like that the pollen is totally lost. I already want to give you a little preview what we're going to do here. This flower will be pollinated by with a gräser hybrid, a ruffled gräser hybrid, and the other one will be pollinated with flying saucer. I already tried this cross once before. I already tried the gräser cross and the flying saucer cross, and both failed. But you know, I don't know what to say. I want to try it again, you know. I'm a little bit boneheaded, you know. I don't want to give up. Giving up would mean like giving up, you know. I just don't want to give up. I want to have a Gräser cross with Trichocereus validus, and I want a flying saucer cross. If it doesn't work, we at least have a cross, like the reverse crosses were successful. You know, I have lots of plants where the Gräser hybrids were used as mother and Trichocereus validus as father. So, you know, it's still a great season, you know. It's just I want at least one cross with Trichocereus validus as mother. That would be awesome, you know. So I really hope, I pray to the cactus gods, you know. Alright. I'm surprised by the large amount of pollen that I got from this flower, you know. There was absolutely no pollen there yesterday. Zilch. Same with the second flower. That's amazing, guys. That's amazing, you know. First time I collected pollen from Trichocereus validus, I barely got any pollen, you know, barely. I only got enough pollen to make a few crosses. So I'm very glad that there's pollen to be harvested now. You know, it's the last 2 flowers of the year with Trichocereus validus. So I need to be I need to make use of it. You never know if these plants will flower again next year. My Trichocereus pachanoi, my large mother plant, flowered like crazy last year, and nothing this year. Like absolutely nothing. No flower, nothing. I was so disappointed. My the wasn hybrid with Trichocereus macrogonus and Echinopsis torrelapana that Andreas Wessner created. It had flowered like 2 years ago, nothing last year, and now again 1 flower this year. It's just, you never know what will happen with the flowers. I really wish I could move this plant into the shade. It's a little bit too heavy, and it's like, you know, I don't know if that's the right word, lopsided. It's very heavy on one side, and it can fall over very easy, you know, and that's a problem. I don't want this plant. I had to cut out a rib. That was pretty. That was like heartbreaking, you know. It did work, but it didn't work like, you know, it's just the plant still looks a little bit unhappy about having removed the rib. I've grafted the rib that I removed, but yeah, I was still very unhappy that I had to remove a rib. I mean, any wound that you create is a risk for infection, you know. It was luck that it was just at this time of year, you know, like during the summer, plants are, you know, that are cut, you know, are hardened up easily, and it takes a few months for them to heal before you can overwinter them with a wound, you know. So I'm just glad it happened early in the season. If it would have happened like in October or something like this, it would have been a disaster. I'm so happy that I can finally collect some pollen from this plant. It's really, really amazing. I had hoped to get pollen from this so urgently. I don't know. Yeah, urgently is probably a good word. The pollen that I collected now is enough to make like 100 crosses. Probably more. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, this is the pure pollen that I collected, and now I will collect the parts of the flower that contain pollen. You know, like I cut away the Staubgefäße. You know, like everything a part of the stigma. I moved the camera back a little bit because I don't want you to see nothing but my butt. Speaking of my butt, I need to lift up my pants because I've noticed that in some videos that I took, my butt was showing out, and I can't do that. I will collect lots of pollen from this guy, as much as I can. I will also send some pollen to friends, so I need to collect a lot. I'm sorry if this is a little bit boring, but it's just very important. You know, when you have the chance to collect so much pollen, you need to do it. It's just extremely important to have enough pollen. You know, if you know how to store pollen correctly, you need to do it, and you need to do it correctly and as much as you can. Alright, I'll pause the video. I don't want to bore you to death. I'll do a little bit of cutting now, and we'll continue the video when I'm done. Hey guys, so this is the pollen that I collected. The bags in the right hand, this one are the pure pollen, and these are parts of the flower that also had pollen on them. I always remove them as some kind of B quality pollen. I first use these, and when I use them all up, then I might use the other ones, but most are discarded. So yeah, now we'll pollinate. Alright, I'm back, and I brought some pollen. Yeah, first one will be pollinated with the Gräser hybrid, and the other one will be pollinated with flying saucer. Okay, I'll just get some pollen and then we'll start. All right. Need to be careful with my butt. All right. So this is Gräser. So first pollination, I'll do 3. Just to be sure. All right. And now the third. All of these are the same pollen. It's a unnamed Gräser hybrid that flowered with me yesterday and which was awesome. All right. Now we'll pollinate the other one with flying saucer. All right, first pollination, flying saucer. There will be 2 more. So second pollination. You know, I always take pollen from different bags just to make sure it's viable. Sometimes viability can drop in one bag and stay up in another, you know. So I use pollen from various bags. All right, now the final one. All right, final one now. Then we'll label the flowers, you know, the crosses that we made. And yeah, and then we hope for the best. I mean, I don't think there's anything more that we could do. If this doesn't succeed, then it just shouldn't be. So by the way, I already made this whole thing, you know, these multiple pollinations when I did the first one, you know, when I pollinated this plant the first and second time. But yeah, I personally think the flowers dropped at that time because of the heat wave. Okay. Now the other one, flying saucer. And then I'll move on to the next plant because there are lots of plants flowering today. Okay. I'll take the camera off the tripod. So here's the pollinations that we made. Gräser hybrid here, flying saucer there. And now we really hope that it worked. You know, I'm doing a fertility dance today. I'm doing voodoo. I do everything I can to make it happen. I pray to all the gods in the universe. You know, I'm an atheist, but I still pray. It can't hurt. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.